are twice as likely to be victims of domestic abuse as those who are hearing. Yet there are few specialist support services for deaf survivors.
And one exception is Cambridgeshire, where the county's Deaf Association is now running services in conjunction with the police, including vital support in sign language. Elodie Harper reports.
Abby, who is deaf, is explaining in sign language how she became trapped in an abusive relationship involving financial coercive control. We're protecting her identity, including her real name, and her words are spoken by Gemma, an interpreter.
He was controlling everything in the house. If I was to go shopping for food, I would have to buy whatever was on his list. I had to follow it. And if I needed something, say, for example, nappies for the children, he would only give me a certain amount of money to do all the shopping, so I couldn't sometimes get the nappies that I needed.
Abby got the support she needed from the Cambridgeshire Deaf Association, or CDA, which this week had a visit from the county's Police and Crime Commissioner in acknowledgement of their work.
So it means that there's an even more limited amount of interpreters.
People who are deaf are twice as likely to be victims of domestic abuse as those who are hearing. Many, like Abby, have a hearing partner who exploits the power imbalance.
So what we often find is that partners are relied on to communicate for the deaf victims, and therefore they don't have their own voice, they're relying on their partner to speak for them. It's very easy to kind of abuse that power, unfortunately. So if there were professionals, police, social workers showing up at the door, again, if they're not deaf aware and they don't know about booking interpreters, it can be really a struggle for that deaf victim to be able to get their voice heard over the perpetrator who can communicate fluidly with them.
Cambridgeshire is one of only 3 regions in England with specialist provision for deaf victims of domestic abuse. Abby believes this support is vital.
I needed to ask for help due to my situation of domestic abuse, because I needed someone who was knowledgeable and experienced working with deaf people, knowledgeable of the language, the culture, the deaf community. Because for me, it felt like I could fully express myself in the most natural way about the situation I was in.
The CDA also makes educational videos about abuse, as other media, like radio, is not always accessible. One of many ways they are trying to make sure everyone can find the help they need. Elodie Harper, ITV News.